It's mid-April in Iqaluit, on the rugged, awe-inspiring shores of Frobisher Bay. And on this crisp day, the bay is a frozen white canvas. Snow and ice stretching so far, it's hard to tell where the land ends and the sea begins. The sun is shining, but don't let that fool you. The thermometer also says it's a balmy minus 7 degrees Celsius. But that 19-kilometer wind, it certainly doesn't breeze by, it bites. These are nature's own testimonials to the Arctic's unforgiving edge. And yet, in spite of bitter cold and long dark winters, the Inuit have not only survived here, they've thrived for thousands of years. Today, Nunavut's capital city of Iqaluit isn't just a symbol of endurance. It's a center of economic certainty, a place where Inuit-led and Inuit-owned enterprises are attracting investment and writing the future on their own terms. I'm Hannah Thibodeau. This is The Arctic Edge, stories from Canada's frontier.
We have a really unique story to tell the rest of the country.
We have a frontier. We got to get on it and do things on our frontier.
In this episode, you'll hear stories of resilience and innovation, stories of new business leaders in Nunavut who preach the gospel of possibility. They aren't defined or imagined in the boardrooms of the South. They're being built step by step from the tundra up.
My name is Cody Dean. Rankin Inlet is my hometown. I've lived in Iqaluit for the last 20 years.
Meet Cody Dean, a contractor by trade, a community builder by calling. He got his start at Iqaluit Energy Corporation back in 2005, a young guy with a strong work ethic.
So I started as an employee of the power company here and learned my trade. This is back in 2005. So it just progressed over time. I started with them as a laborer, and then they hired me as a power lineman apprentice, and ended up getting my journeyman ticket.
Cody quickly stood out, and the company wanted to invest in him and offered him more training.
I was, intrigued by it and humbled, and I was happy they saw potential in me. But really, I wanted to be part of that one project of rebuilding the town's, power system.
Cody had his sights on a project closer to home, rebuilding Iqaluit's power system. So he turned down the training opportunity, a decision that changed the course of his life. Instead, he launched his own business.
It just kind of happened. I was, looking forward to just working for the contractor, but as things happened, it just evolved into me becoming a small contractor myself and a business owner.
He never set out to be an entrepreneur, but sometimes the best moves are the ones you don't plan. And Cody admits he had no idea what it really meant to start or run a business. That blind leap, it turned out to be exactly what he needed.
I was 22, 23 at the time, so I didn't know a whole lot of what it took to start a business or own a business or employ people. And I think that little bit of ignorance really helped me, because I would have, if I knew what I knew now, I probably would have stuck to that career. But I'm glad I chose the path I did.
And in August 2010, Dean Utility Services, Inc. was open for business. Born out of hard work and youthful ambition. Cody started as a subcontractor with a company called Canadrill, helping to rebuild the power distribution system in Iqaluit. That partnership gave his fledgling business real traction.
It really helped me grow my business and my career and really help my power line side of things.
It's a great success story, even if it ended there. But it doesn't. By 2013, Cody rang in the new year as president of Canadrill. He bought the company.
Canadrill was an existing business that was started in 1979 that I acquired. So in 2012, 2013, that's when my career with Canadrill started.
Today, Canadrill is at the forefront of infrastructure development across Nunavut.
Canadrill is my main business, and we do permafrost foundations throughout the territory in all 25 communities.
Permafrost foundations might sound like a niche business, but they're critical in Arctic construction.
Different than the South, we need to elevate the buildings, off the ground to, avoid that heat transfer between the heated building and the frozen soil. So if you ever visit our communities, you'll notice that, especially Iqaluit, buildings are typically, 3 or 4 feet or more off the ground. And again, that's to maintain the integrity of the soil. And just typical methods of foundations you find in the South aren't viable up here.
If the permafrost thaws or shifts under a building, the whole structure is at risk. The permafrost foundation technology reduces the risk of serious damage to the infrastructure. It's also generally worth noting the importance of preserving permafrost to mitigate climate change. Permafrost is a massive carbon sink. It locks in ancient carbon. So when the permafrost melts, that carbon, in the form of carbon dioxide and methane, is released into the atmosphere. Just to put that in perspective, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Agency in the United States estimates northern permafrost soils contain as much as 1,600 billion metric tons of organic carbon. Translation: northern permafrost soils hold nearly twice the carbon currently in the atmosphere. The less the permafrost is disturbed, the lower the risk of GHG emissions. So yes, Cody Dean's work stabilizes the buildings. It protects the lifespan of infrastructure in the Arctic. And that would be a great success story, even if it ended here. But it doesn't.
Hi, it's Yaya. When people ask where I'm from, I say think of the furthest place north you've ever been.
It's just the beginning of a whole new story.
I am a modern Inuk woman. I got married out of high school, started a family. Now he's the town golden boy, and I'm his wife.
You just heard a clip from North of North, a widely successful comedy series made for APTN, CBC, and Netflix. Stacey Iqaluit McDonald and Alethea Arnott-Baril of Red Marrow Media told CBC they brainstormed a long list of ideas before landing on this one.
The thing that kind of rose to the top was a comedy series about a young woman trying to live her best life in the North.
They set the show in a fictional Arctic location. Alethea says it was a choice that gave them creative latitude.
We wanted to be able to represent Inuit fashion and dialects from across the regions. So we chose a fictional community kind of centrally located and imagined that it's a travel hub so that we can cherry pick the best of all the storytelling aspects we wanted. And to pick a community where there's a mix of Inuit and also First Nations and transient people from away.
North of North debuted in 2025. And the primary filming was done in Nunavut. It's proven to be a groundbreaking series that brings northern stories to a global stage. And Stacey told CBC that the team agreed comedy was the best format.
A comedy felt the most real way to tell this story. A lot of Indigenous films and content, from our perspective and from what we've seen, has been, it's been dark, it's been traumatic, it's been often people from the outside looking in, and they're looking at the worst parts of our culture or of the issues that are going on in our community, and that's not how we perceive our lives up there. There's so much joy, there's so much color, and there's so much laughter, and so a comedy just felt like the right way to tell a story that felt authentic to us and to our lives.
That's all great, but what does this have to do with Cody Dean?
Yeah, and that's another funny story.
Cody built a 12,000 square foot studio in Iqaluit for the production of North of North.
I was approached, and I had these building packages already. Like, I had shipped 4 of these pre-engineered buildings here to Iqaluit on the last boat in 2019.
Similar to the way his first business was launched, he saw an opportunity and then jumped at it.
I had the buildings, and they had the need, and it's kind of worked out in that way, Just like a lot of things work out here, it kind of happened organically.
So here we have the unlikely collaboration of an Inuit-led creative production working together with an Inuit-led construction firm. And the outcome is greater than the sum of the parts. North of North literally reflects the community and culture of the Arctic.
I think a lot of people tune in and they get a chuckle out of seeing their friends and seeing them act, because it's different when you know the person. So I think people are proud to share the community with their friends in the South or elsewhere that haven't had the chance to visit. It's kind of giving them a perspective of what our lives are like, and it's fun.
Anna Lamb plays the lead character, Siaya. She told CBC it's been a rare opportunity to tell the Arctic's story to a Southern audience.
There are people up north that Inuit are alive and well and modern, and we have been for ever. And there's so much joy and love and laughter and happiness, and then we're people as well. Our day-to-day lives may look a little bit different, may look a little bit colder, may look a little more treeless, but we're up there, and we have important stories to tell as well.
At the risk of overthinking this show, North of North doesn't just reflect those who live in the Arctic. Siaya's journey reflects core Inuit values. She wants her life, her work to matter, to improve her community.
Hire me.
If you had my job, I know it's ridiculous to even think about, but what would you do?
I want to make our community a better place. Any tips?
Just be you.
Every community needs a special person like you to bring the generations together.
God, I love it up here.
Build community, strengthen it, connect generations. A fictional character, sure, but the goals, very real. Canadrill meets Red Marrow Media, and the world meets North of North. Now that is a remarkable Inuit success story. Even if it ended here. But stop me if you've already heard this already. The story doesn't end here.
It's good beer.
Not just good beer, it's local beer. Cody partnered with 4 local business partners to launch the Nunavut Brewing Company.
How I got involved is I had the land and the property to build the brewery. And I had a relationship with these men through their real estate projects over the years. So we had a good relationship that way. And again, it was something to build here that would be exciting to have some type of manufacturing here in Iqaluit and Nunavut, and then of course beer is something you can enjoy socially and take outside of the territory.
Fun? Definitely. Exciting? No doubt. But launching a manufacturing startup is risky in any part of the world. Now try doing it in the Arctic, where every nail, keg, and pipe fitting has to be shipped in. It's not for the faint of heart. It was a rough start for the brewery. The partners pitched the plan to the city council in 2015. They hoped to be pouring pints by 2017, but things stalled because of some local concerns about possible water shortages in Iqaluit. After years of delay, the taps finally opened in August 2018. The first pour, worth the wait.
The brew pub is a great little spot if you want to, unwind after a long day of work and see some friendly people. There's a few good regulars there. New Brew Co. is our nickname, and yeah, I think it's best to try it out here in Iqaluit and get a taste for yourself.
Another great Inuit-led business, even if it ended there. But it doesn't. As we've seen, businesses like Cody Dean's don't just sell beer or lay foundations. They build something deeper. They create momentum. They create possibility. And they're rooted in the community. The returns ripple far and wide.
One thing we always talk about is how do we improve the quality of life in our towns, and it's a lot of partnerships with business, and you'll find authentic local businesses are a lot more inclined to be involved in those things. So I think that's one positive spin-off when local people develop the skills and build their business, and that money really ends up staying here and helps just the overall quality of life and bring us close the gap between the north and the south.
This spirit of entrepreneurship in the Arctic isn't just a trend. It's a lifeline for future generations. And it's the mission of projects like the Arctic Inspiration Prize.
I am Darlene Nukinga. I live in Iqaluit, Nunavut, and I'm currently the Nunavut Region Manager for the Arctic Inspiration Prize.
Darlene Nukinga manages the prize, a fund that is proudly by the North, for the North, encouraging, enabling, and celebrating the achievements and innovations of Northerners. Since the prize was established in 2012, it has awarded millions in funding. In 2025 alone, 12 Northern-led teams received more than $3.7 million. The cool thing is, it's not about polished plans or proven outcomes. It's about potential. It's about igniting great ideas and trusting Northerners to lead the way.
It's hard to get funding for an idea. Most of the government funding, you get funding for what you've already proven you can do. But with the Arctic Inspiration Prize, you get funding for an idea, a well-developed idea that has support. And so that's why most of the projects have gone on. So I think supporting people's dreams and their hopes, because people at the grassroots level know what their community needs to be healthier and thrive.
Over the years, the prize has backed some extraordinary projects. First Nations midwifery and sexual and reproduction healthcare services in Yukon, diabetes prevention and nutrition education in Baker Lake, Nunavut, youth employment initiatives in Northwest Territories, traditional sewing and beading programs in Nunavut, and a Northwest Territories program that trains youth in clean energy leadership by integrating Dene knowledge and technical skills to advance culturally aligned climate solutions. One of the most profound projects, a 2018 prize laureate called From Scrap to Art. On the surface, it taught Inuit youth in Nunavut how to turn discarded metal into art. And they picked up a few trade skills along the way. But as you'll hear, underneath, it's something bigger. The real impact from scrap to art isn't just practical, it's personal, it's cultural, and its return is measured in confidence, connection, and generational change that's still unfolding right across the community.
As a result of intergenerational trauma, youth in Nunavut are at a higher risk of suicide, violence, and drug and alcohol abuse. From Scrap to Art proposes a unique project where youth transform discarded objects into art. The opportunity to convert something that has been thrown away into valuable work is symbolic and healing.
They were all happy to hear that we were nominated for the Arctic Inspiration Prize.
From Scrap to Art will allow youth to develop both practical and artistic skills and thereby gain more respect for themselves and each other.
We take them to the garage and we cut it out and make sculptures. And there's these two wolves that we made. One that's a mechanical wolf and there's one that's made from oil tanks.
Under the guidance of Inuit and Maori mentors and Northern educators, the youth team will set up a dedicated welding studio where they can teach other young Northerners the skills of welding.
With the prize, we would make lots of sculptures around our town. We're going to buy equipment for our art studios, get a new forge, 2 welders, 2 plasma cutters, safety gear, and 1 belt sander.
This project will interrupt the damage caused by intergenerational trauma, help develop the innate creativity of youth in Cambridge Bay, and give them the opportunity to face their futures with confidence.
When we won it felt awesome. Lots of excitement. I was nervous to go up on the stage, but I went up there anyways. I was okay speaking in front of lots of people.
Our imagination runs a million miles a minute. But in the end, what do we do with all the ideas? We look forward to creating more art for our community and visitors like you to come and appreciate the pieces that we are creating. Kwana, the sculpture represents our resilience, our time, and our future.
That was Andrew Kittigon, the team leader on the project. From Scrap to Art may not have the pop media spotlight of North, but make no mistake, this project moves people. It inspires self-respect, it sparks confidence, and it grounds young Inuit in their culture and in their community. And like all the best stories, it started with a simple, powerful idea.
It all starts with an idea, and we have many people that have wonderful ideas.
As Darlene says, there's no shortage of brilliance in the North.
I see so many success stories, and we've got so many entrepreneurs in this city of Iqaluit now, former students and former leaders, current leaders are former students, and it's just wonderful to see. I mean, our current premier is from Grise Fiord. Who would have thought? Little tiny community of, 50 to 100 people? That's an amazing success story.
All of these success stories, they're built on a similar foundation. Youthful ambition, a sense of purpose, and a willingness to leap before the path is paved. The very same spark that ignited Cody Dean's career.
I think we need that as entrepreneurs is, why do you get up in the morning? What are what'll be your impact, and it's just a why, I guess.
It's the why that gets Cody Dean out of bed every day. That quiet drive, that need to build something that matters. And who knows how many future Cody Deans are out there right now. Turning the what if into a spark. That spark into a plan. That plan into a bold Inuit-led, Inuit-owned enterprise. It's a great story, and it's far from over. I'm Hannah Thibodeau. Thanks for listening to The Arctic Edge. Stories from Canada's frontier.